Excuse me, is that galaxy eyes with a side of dragon rulers? Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome. So we're going to be starting off here with a pretty little interesting tournament report that actually had this little deck showing up and doing well. Now this is a dragon ruler with Tachyon pile. Now, I have not seen anybody playing anything as unique as this, but it kind of proves that, you know, you got things like the spell card Soul Exchange out here that have been showing up and actually making splashes to answers to, you know, these opponents' fields and things like that, which is kind of interesting. I see we're also doing Pentastag in here. You do have the Lubellion. You can thank, you know, Branded Regain for being one of those fantastic cards. We're also doing two of the Tachyon counter trap card in here as well. Being able to negate down an entire stack of things is going to be really, really strong for this. So let's give it up, everybody. I did not think that we would see a Galaxy Eyes pile of all things, especially topping a tournament like this. Now, we move on along, and of course, you know, your next challenger's always got to be a Blue Eyes deck. You know, there's got to be something out here that's got to come up and challenge us, and this is where you do see the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon down there. It was something I originally wanted to test at AFLD, being able to be popped out off of the Spirit Dragon and be able to attack from defense mode actually can win you some stupid games. I don't think people have kind of grasped that that's an option yet, but you do have the ability to do that. Spirit Dragon becomes a little bit more valuable in terms of what you can do. I see we are doing the Ultimate Fusion stuff in here. We are main decking a singular Lancia. I think the main decking triple Lancia is probably going to be your safer approach. You want to make sure that these are cards that you are going to be able to see, and you're going to be able to find them to put that pressure on your opponent. I cannot stress enough out here that if you cannot find the outs, you're going to have a really bad time. Next up here, we get to see a Malice challenger out of this very same event. Now, what I can tell you about this is we are going with the triple backup at Ignister. If you have not played or seen Malice post the Alliance Insight format, this deck is crazy. It got way more extenders, it has way more power than I think you could ever actually want to imagine. And the fact that it is able to combo gas as hard as it actually is. You also do notice we are playing two of the new hair in here, which basically gives this deck a lot more extra oof as well. And then, of course, you've got to give this deck, you know, it's dues. All right, we are playing one of the spell in here as well, kind of clear things up, which I think is really good. In terms of Malice, though, 40 cards, completely optimized. It's exactly the way that it needs to be. And of course, I see that we are side decking some Solemn Strikes down here as well. So a very, very, very strong monster. Next up here, winning our event was actually none other than Risal. You know, I say this now, but like, gosh darn it, man, Risal has been a monster out here. Even losing X, the card that we thought was, you know, going to be the death of the deck, you just put one more extender into the deck, and this deck is able just to continue on. And it's been crazy. You can honestly thank Twins of the Eclipse for some of the stupid plays that this deck has. And also, you know, they've really patted this deck down by giving it Searcher after Searcher. And it definitely proves that if you give a deck enough Searchers, they're going to be able to do anything. That's why you've seen this monster doing as well as it has. So, for winning this event, you know, good stuff, Risal. You know, you did very, very well, but this does prove that there was a lot of very highly competitive players at this event. Now, as we shift gears here, we're going to look at some other interesting lists. Starting off here, we have, what is this, White Forest. This deck has been a pretty interesting little challenger in itself. You know, the field spell definitely changed this deck's perception from a lot of people. Also, you know, adding in two awesome boss monsters has really, really, really helped this out. As we also do see we are doing the Deception package. You only want to do that before you do field spell interactions, but you do that, you're set up and you're good to go. Now, we also have some more Blue Eyes action for you. Standard 2 Blue Eyes built into the deck. No skill drain in this main deck. They actually chose to side deck that, which, I don't know how I feel about that. I think main decking the skill drain at this point you may as well just take the auto win button and, take it where you can get it, because losing that opportunity just doesn't really feel all that worthwhile. Like, just main deck it. All right, also the Gamma driver in the main. Okay, next up here, we have more Malice action for you. Here, triple backup adding mystery, the wizard, but you're also seeing the Code of the Soul in here as well. Poor Dot Scraper has just been gutted out of this deck. Nobody really wants to look back at Dot anymore and really give it the time of day, which is kind of sad actually, but Dot Scraper, I think he did deserve a place. Also, there is the one driver and the one Gamma still holding down the fort. We've also got more Blue Eyes action for you here. All right, well, I mean, makes sense, right? And just see what this deck can do. We have the AFD down there. I also see we have the Fire monster down there for the Snake Eyes, the big boss monster. Is there going to be an opportunity for us to actually make that thing? That's kind of interesting. Poor Crimson Dragon's also been gutted out of the meta. There was a time where it was actually one of the more sought after cards, but I guess not anymore. Kind of interesting. Now we have some Risal action. You do see we are doing 2 Sakitama. Now this is a list I can get behind, because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Sakitama. I love that card. Build's also playing your triple Metaltronius. You want to be able to handle the Dead Namer when he is popping up, especially in the mirror match. We kind of have learned our lesson out here about how good Metaltronius is. TCG has really, really been exploring that card. Ooh, we have Illusion of Chaos. Is this... There's the Magia. Yup. Somebody said, I'm going to play the Magia. And you know what? That's fine. Once again, we are seeing the bigger Snake Eyes Synchro down there as well. Okay, so how Primite has evolved to actually support this. I mean, I guess it's extra 2 cards built into the main deck. You may as well, try out something with that. All right, we got some more Risal action. Hey, look, we're doing Aratama and Sakitama in here this time. Ooh, I'm gonna resolve my additional normal summon now, and what are you gonna do about it? It's just to put the extra bodies on the field. I think it's good. Also notice, no deck is played beyond one of the new Risal monster. While we all were like, oh, hey, he's really, really cool. Yeah, he is. But you don't see people rushing out to play more than one of it. It's interesting. Next up here we have, more Risal. Hey, we're back on the double Sakitama stuff, which makes sense. You have the double Metaltronius down there. This build is not playing Small World. I will say, though, for the amount of people out here that are testing out Small World in the OCG, maybe is it just like you really want to fill the spot for that 7 Tachyon just to kind of get to it? Like, is that the whole reasoning that you want to explore that card? I don't know. It's interesting. And of course, we have how much more Risal can you shove into this video, Robbie? Yeah, well, when you're looking at these tournament reports, man, while the White Forest deck did win, this was proving that there was so much Risal back here in the back that you really had to overcome these. Once again, another double Sakitama build out here. You have attack talents built into the main deck, still doing the whole thruster now. It's worth it. All right. Ooh, we have more Blue Eyes for you. I see, in terms of this build, we are doing the big Snake Eyes Dragon in here. Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, once again, having that defensive option to be able to attack. Going to clear out some good games for you. And of course, you do see the Dominus is in here. This build choosing to not play the Skill Drain either. Not even in the side deck. That's kind of concerning, actually, because Skill Drain's been such a big tech. Next up is Malice, yet again. Once again, we got the triple backup Adagnister in here. You are seeing the Wizard do its thing. You are also seeing in here, this is kind of interesting, a singular copy of Cynet Mining. I don't hate the idea playing the one mining. I just think most players would rather just kind of step away from that. I don't know. Shifter is also nowhere to be seen. See, we knew that this meta would evolve. No Shifter at all. And then, of course, we have another Malice. This build actually playing the triple Allure Darkness in the main deck. You do see we are playing the one Allure. I'm actually surprised more of the OCG chooses to not play the Allure. It's one of those situations, like, it's a one-up. Like, if you see it, you're just gonna blow your opponent out, but you guys just really choose to not explore that option. That's always very interesting when we're looking at the deck builds and analyzation out here on this side of the game. You really just, you don't get to see that, huh? So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.